Okay, gang, we came out looking, trying to see trains. Gavin and Ryan are with me today. Hey. And you can see down there in the background that that's the bridge we normally go to, but we decided to walk to the west a little ways. We were driving, well, not walk, but we drove. But anyway, regardless, we got down here and noticed that this signal is green and it's flashing yellow the other direction. However, if I turn around here, we can see for a long ways down there, and I don't see anything coming, so I'm not exactly sure why the signal's green. This little place over here to the left, that's called Aquila Flats, and there's a pecan orchard over there, and there's also, just beyond that highway bridge, there is a work siting over there. So they might be doing some work. There may be something parked over there. We're going to sit here for just a few minutes, and we may work our way over that way. Right here we have a radio transmitter, and we have a dragging equipment detector here on actually both rails. And once again, just like down at the bridge, you can see that we have wooden ties on the old SP side, and we have concrete ties on the new side that UP put in all the way to Arizona.
Okay guys, since we haven't been seeing anything out here, we're gonna head to Deming and then there's an old highway that follows the old Southwestern Railroad, and we're gonna take that to Rincon and see if we can see anything there. So I guess we'll see you guys there. Okay guys, so right now we're paralleling the Southwestern track from Deming to Rincon. Right there, you can barely see the top of the rail. But that's right there.
That used to be a Santa Fe line, right?
Yeah, this used to be a Santa Fe line from Rincon to the mines out here.
To Deming and then up to the mines, right? Santa Rita and all that?
Yep.
Okay guys, we got skunked, as you know, out on the UP, so we're here. We've made it through Hatch and we're back in Rincon. There's Mr. R checking out his phone, and Mr. G. And Rincon is a big Y. This is basically the track that goes around and goes down through the valley into Las Cruces. And if you look real closely, just below that pink house down there, there is a Y section there. And this track here is the one that Gavin just showed you that goes to Deming. So they can actually come through here and go straight and go on down and go to Deming, which is the way the coal train goes when it comes through here. Or a lot of auto wrecks and merchandise trains and tank trains come through and go to the left here and go down to Las Cruces. But right now, they just have a few cars stacked up in here, probably waiting to be switched out to trains going wherever they want them to go to. And that's it for about it for right now. I'll turn around and show you what's up the way. Here's a shot of G, just to give you an idea. These cars are, I don't know, we've never really been around one that stopped, but G is a little bit taller than I am now, so you can get an idea of how physically large cars are if you haven't been around them. Yeah, we're in an old foundation here, and I just decided to take this because it's been a long time since you've seen a spark plug that looked like that. Yeah, I don't know what this foundation is here. It looks like it could have been an old warehouse, or maybe it was just a platform all along. I don't really know what it was. They obviously have some kind of a if not a wall, a retaining wall there to keep water and dirt from coming in here, from washing down, since all that's uphill. If I swing around, you can see the Pfeiffer Hobby Mobile down there. That's the Rincon Depot. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. That's the Rincon station. Now it's just used by, I guess, by signal crews from the BNSF and from Southwestern. There's a few cars parked around it. I don't know whether there's anybody inside or not. We didn't go up to the door. There's usually someone in there. I noticed there's a BNSF truck parked out there and back. And then if I get down here and I zoom in a little bit more, you can see that they have some kind of work equipment down there. Pardon me, hold on, let me see if I can hold this a little more steady. There's some kind of a piece of work equipment there. I'm not sure what it is. They were replacing ties on this line. I saw a tie train sitting here a while back. There's also some tank cars sitting up there, because that industry right there is Helena Chemical, and they do fertilizer and so forth. Hence all the farm type trucks. Let me back out. Instead of giving you a headache. Anyway, that's Helena Chemical. Service a lot of the farmers here. If you eat hatch green chili, your fertilizer and your bug sprays and everything probably came out of that plant right there. They service this whole valley. And once again, there's the depot. And right over here, I know there's nothing there now, but right about where that K-line container is attached to that boxcar, which is now their tool building. There used to be a siding there years ago, and they had a old silver maintenance away Santa Fe tank car there for potable water. Obviously they've gotten rid of it. Shows you how long it's been since I've been here. Yeah, somebody probably got in trouble for losing all their car their car bands. 35, 414, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And it looks like Hoist North America, I don't know. LHO, it looks like a IST. I don't know what that is. Whatever it is, they lost it. Gavin found a brake hose laying here. This might give you an idea of some gondola weathering. You can see that the sides, the rib sides, are really pooched out on this thing from being loaded so heavily, and even some of the ribs here are kind of curving out. Plus it's got some holes in it over here, and right here you can see where they've patched some of the holes, welded some patches on in different places. So that might give you an idea on how to weather one of these or work on it. And here's this panel right here is all rusted out along the bottom for some reason. Yeah, here Gavin and I walked up on this thing. It's obviously a ballast hopper, but the weird thing about it is it's got a toolbox on here that says gate sync, and it's got a bunch of gear in there apparently, and then there's a cord that comes out and goes up to a solar panel on there. I have no idea what that is. I may be way behind the times. However, it also has a wire coming out with an antenna on it right up there on the end of the gondola. I don't know if you can see it, I'm in the sun. There's an antenna right up there on the end of the car. So I'm not sure what all that's about, but I'm sure someone knows. It's a cushioned underframe car. And we'll just walk on down a little ways. Here's also something we saw in the car that we thought was kind of interesting. Here's one we saw that it's another ballast car. We thought it was pretty cool because it still says ATSF on it with a number, and it still has the old Santa Fe lettering up there.
What is this stuff?
Here's an interesting dump car. I'm not sure if it's a diff code brand or diff code type. I don't know my dump cars very well, but you can even see the ballast inside of it through the crack there. But it's a relatively new car. I don't know how new. Obviously says BNSF, and the paint on it looks really good for what they do with it. And then down the way, second car down over there is a different type of car, which I'm pretty sure is a Diffco car. This car here, if I walk down this way, it has the early BNSF logo right there. Gavin and I were looking at this car. I don't recall ever seeing a car like this either. It's more or less a long gondola, but it's got these goofy reinforced ends on it, kind of like a it's almost like a converted bulkhead flat car is what it really looks like, but I'm not sure.
Right.
It's pretty long. It's a pretty long car.
Look right here. You tie them in.
Yeah, Gavin is pointing out something to me. It does look like these were pockets for that it might have been a bulkhead flat, and they converted it into a gon. Not sure about this guy. It's sure a long car, so it almost would lend itself to have been a bulkhead originally, converted into a gondola. And then here's the other dump car, which is somewhat different than the other, with these sloped sides on it. Like I say, I'm not sure of my cars, but anyway, it's much different than the others. And I'm going to turn around right here and give you a look at the other end of this converted car, which I think is pretty cool. Oh, hi, Ray.
Hi.
Here's an old BN hopper that's definitely seen better days. It's in pretty bad shape.
Umbrella. Right there. Look at it.
Oh yeah. Ryan was just pointing out somebody lost their umbrella. But yeah, this guy here has definitely seen better days.
This is a zombie.
And finally, Gavin has located a 2 flat cars full of concrete tie snap track. So it looks like they're replacing some track somewhere up the way. And then we got some hopper cars down here on the other side, and I don't know what's down there on the end. It looks like another hopper car. That's about it that's here in the yard. Okay, we're down at the end of this train that was parked here, and now you can see the Y, the other leg of the Y right here. There's the pink house that goes around and ties in way over there. Let's see here. You can see the Y goes over there and ties in. And that leg goes down to Las Cruces.
There and all that.
Okay, here's a box car that was sitting here with this tank car and these hoppers. They're all loaded. They've all got locks on them, so they're obviously going out to somewhere towards Albuquerque or towards Deming, one or the other. But nevertheless, here they are. And if I swing around, there's the train we just walked down the other side of. A little better pictures from this side. I'll try and get that converted car when I get up here. Okay, here's some shots, or a shot or two, of that converted car, what I believe is a converted car. Because it definitely looks like those pockets on the side just had the side of the car. They built up the side of the car and then dropped it into the pockets, and then it looks like they welded along the bottom edge. My guess is that they've put steel on the inside of the bed of it, as opposed to possibly have been wood, maybe, when it was a bulkhead. But it definitely looks like a converted car to me. You guys can chime in and see what you think. But I'm gonna walk down here, see if I can get a little picture of this end. That's what she looks like. Might try and make one of those one of these days. Thought I'd stop and take a picture of the graffiti on the side of this car. This car kind of looks like it would have been a covered hopper at one time and possibly a convert. Looks like they welded something along the top and took the top off, and then they would have had to modify the chutes on the bottom. But it certainly looks converted to me. Okay folks, this is beautiful downtown Rincon, New Mexico. The only thing that keeps this little place going is likely Helena Chemical. Got the post office here. I don't know if there is anything else here except the chemical plant. I'm sure some of these people work at the chemical plant or out in the fields, chili fields here. Drive trucks, whatever the case is. That's about the only thing that's here besides the railroad. The interstate that you see up there is I-25 from Albuquerque to Cruces. And I am looking almost straight north. Okay, we walked up here to this piece of equipment to find out that it's actually owned by BNSF, not by a contractor. And it's obviously a crane, but more likely, in fact I'm pretty sure it's a pile driver. So my guess is they've been driving some pilings up the way, because I know up towards Albuquerque there's a lot of old wooden bridges up there, and maybe they've been driving pilings and replacing some of those bridges. I don't know, but it's a pretty new piece of equipment, and the crane itself obviously is standalone, but they have this long car in here for the hammer boom. And you can see in the middle, let me try and zoom in. You can see in the middle, it looks like the hydraulic unit for the pile driver. And my guess is that they carry the pilings on that flat car back there, plus their tools. Okay, we're still at Rincon. We're obviously on the north side of the highway bridge. That is once again Highway Interstate 25. And we've got 4 hoppers here and a little tank car. And I think Mr. G is going to attempt to go over there and look at them. He's probably going to rip his pants and shirt, so I better get down there and help him. Okay, here's the tank car that was on the end of those. And the only reason I want to take this is something that people usually do not model when they weather tank cars. You can see the wheel grease slung up on the car here and road grime, and it goes all along the bottom edge of the car to a certain point down here. Then you get down to the other end, it starts all over again where the wheels are. There's not much weathering or anything on this car, or graffiti for that matter, just a little speck right there, but this is some weathering that people normally miss. And a lot of times on these cars the top gets washed off frequently, and the bottom is what usually gets gross looking, which is kind of the opposite of box cars and stuff. You never really see the bottom of them, but you see the bottoms of tank cars, and usually the bottom of the car looks worse than the top, as is the case in this particular car. Here's another thing that one could model. On the sharp edges of the car, they get caught on something and they get really beat up. So dinging these little edges might be another way to weather a hopper car like this. And you can see here's a close-up, kind of a close-up of the tack board in case they want to put a message on the car. I don't know who this car originally belonged to, but it's now INTX, whatever that is. They painted over the existing markings.
It's like C6 kind of car.
And this car does have a new date. This car was built in 11 of 1980.
It's so small.
Okay, gang. We got skunked today as far as seeing any moving trains. But Ryan and Gavin and I had a good time at least looking at cars and at least traveling along some train lines that we haven't seen before. But anyway, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.